Good afternoon, everybody. This is Bob Turner once again, podcast number 11, or episode number 11 of our Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things podcast. As promised, we're sitting here with the one and only Mike Foley from Foley's Fitness here in Scarborough, Maine. Mike's pretty much a legend here in southern Maine in the fitness community. He's got this gym here that's always been a dream of his, but backing up just a little bit, Mike's a Westbrook native. We had his brother on last week, and Mike grew up in Westbrook, graduated from Westbrook High School, and went to college and got a degree in nutrition. And now we're 30 some odd years after that.
Yeah, 33.
And 23,000 plus nutrition clients later. Here's Mike sitting here in his own gym, living the dream every day, fit as ever, and loving life. So I've known Mike for good 15 years plus anyway.
Yep.
And he's helped me out numerous times with my endurance endeavors and all that kind of stuff, and seen me struggle and seen me win and lose, and always can come back to Mike and get some help. So psyched to have you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Take a minute and kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, everybody knows Mike. There might be one or two people that haven't met you yet.
I'm pretty fortunate, really. I've been been involved in nutrition exercise full time since '89, and it's just been something that I'm really passionate about. And I just feel like I've been blessed to be able to have a great career in it. And we opened up a gym with my brother, his wife, and Joe Doherty runs the gym for us, and he's also a partner in it. And we opened up in December of 2019. So, but all in all, I feel very fortunate to been able to open it and to get everything going.
Well, it's interesting, and I think I've said this in about every podcast. And then COVID hit. Yeah. So what happened? I mean, I felt for you, man. I was like, wow, he's finally got his gym, and all of a sudden, you got to close the doors.
It was kind of funny because my banker is Bangor Savings, Alex Lopes, and just a great guy. Really I got turned down by so many banks, and then my brother got involved, and then we both got turned down by many banks. But basically, Alex was the one in Bangor Savings believed in the mission,
right?
And we were able to get it done. And but I would always tell him the one thing that I'm opening is the least controversial thing anyone can open. Even if you don't like fitness, you got to believe in fitness, right?
Right.
And it's kind of the one thing that should be part of everybody's life during any time.
Right.
And then we were shut down. But all in all, our members were great. And
yeah.
Even when we were shut down, it was like I got plenty of support, and I still believed in the mission and just kind of getting everything going. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
How long were you shut down?
We were shut down for about 12 weeks.
Wow. So
it was a long time, and it's just one of those things where with working out, it's such a community, and for a lot of people, like I was actually, even though we were shut down, I was pretty fortunate because I think I would have been going crazy if I couldn't have got my own workouts in.
Right.
So I was getting my workouts in, and then it was like people would text me, "Hey, can I get my workout in?" And I'm like,
You walking around here, you had the place to yourself, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. You know, it wasn't my best time.
Right.
I love the energy of a gym, but at least I was able to get my own workouts in. So I didn't feel as bad as some people who couldn't get their workouts in, because what happens, weight training or people that lift weights, it's kind of a certain community. As you get older, I'm going to be at 55. I can't really lift a log. My back, I've had back surgeries, and I need the certain equipment that a gym provides.
Yeah. You mentioned, and you did this before, I've mentioned it a couple of times before, you said the word community. Yeah. And yet we were in your office the other day, and you said, I got to have a community. And we talked about, gyms come and go. Mm-hmm. Whether, of course, you got a big chain like Planet Fitness or whatever, but locally I've seen gyms come and go, and they come out of the blocks hard, and they're popular. And then there seems like there's this just steady downward trend. Yep. What are you doing to avoid that?
Yeah, that's not going to happen, because the one thing is I love working out.
Yeah.
And I want to have the best gym. So the only way you can have the best gym is you got to keep putting money back into it. Mm-hmm. And people are going to be aware, like, if what happens with a lot of gyms is they kind of get it going, then they kind of let it fall. It'd be like golf. Like say someone gets into a golf course, right? And all of a sudden you build that certain loyalty,
right?
But then you don't keep up the greens,
yeah.
You don't keep the fairway up.
People go.
You don't keep up the service, people will leave. But if you keep the service up, people get comfortable in the gym. So the hardest part with building a gym, especially a large facility, ours is about 28,000 square feet, is we got to get people comfortable in the gym.
Right.
You're a workout guy, so you could walk into any gym anywhere and be comfortable. You can bike 25 miles per hour and be comfortable. I'd be very uncomfortable on a bike going that fast, but so what happens is you got to get people comfortable, and then you got to keep people accountable, because what happens is everybody needs fitness. So really during this time of COVID is people should be more aware of their health. But when you're home, any bad habit you have when you're stuck home is going to get worse.
Yep.
People don't overeat at work. They overeat at home more. If you're drinking at work, I promise you're drinking more at home, right? Or smoke or whatever your vice is. And we all have different things we're really positive in our life and things we wish we would have done better. But working out and fitness, it has to be someone's life because, like when I approached the bank, they said, you really believe in yourself. And truthfully, I believe in fitness.
Yeah.
That's what I believe in. Like if you said, fix that, I'd be like, who can we call?
I'd expand that to say that you believe in people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's anybody that walks in here that doesn't see either you or Jim around. I mean,
Joe's here all the time too. Joe Doherty,
Yeah, it's Joe or Jim? Joe.
I'm sorry.
Doherty, I don't think his name's Jim, but anyway, either one of you two guys are here. I mean, every time I come.
Dana's my manager. She's always here.
Every time.
Our staff's great though, and the one thing too is with like a lot of the staff is like, a lot of times we'll go, well, how'd you train them? A lot of them kind of just train themselves. Like Dana trains them on the computer.
Right.
Joe works with them. I work with them a little bit, but not really.
And Joe's in the gym. I'll be doing the treadmill
really,
or whatever.
Our staff are young people. Like they like being around people, and we've been just very fortunate to have great trainers. We got Skip Robinson.
Yep.
Skip's
bodybuilder.
Skip's
Mr.
really,
Maine, right?
Yeah. He's the best bodybuilder ever to come out of Maine.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed, I was here, I don't know, a couple months ago, doing the elliptical or whatever, and you came out of your office and probably hit the restroom or whatever, but you took the long way back and you worked your way through the gym and you talked to people. I saw you stop, shoot the shit with somebody for a couple of minutes, move on to somebody else. So you're plugged into the members.
Well, I feel lucky because like when the bank, the one thing that they had a problem with is I had no out plan. That I put everything I own into it, and they said, well, what's your out plan? But I would never want to retire, because for one, I don't have any other hobbies. I don't fish. You fish. I don't hunt.
You ought to get a hobby.
I don't golf. I lift, and that's what I like to do.
So you enjoy.
So what happens is I can't see myself doing anything else.
Right.
Like it's funny. It's like I don't see myself. I like having an occasional day at the beach, but like for the most part, I want to be in the gym.
Right.
And I love working with people in the gym. And like we were talking earlier, and like a lot of people, like you're talented in a bunch of areas. Joe and my brother Jim are talented in so many areas. And this is not really a slam on me, but I'm not. Like you wouldn't want me working for you, trust me, doing handyman work. I'm not a sales guy.
Well, I know you'd show up anyway.
I'd show up. Wouldn't get a lot done, but I'd show up. But like what happens is
you found your passion and your niche.
And I'm really lucky. It's kind of one of those things like, and like Jim was saying in the earlier podcast, we come from a great family, and all my brothers and sisters have always been supportive. My parents were great.
Yeah.
I've been pretty fortunate, and the members have been great. So people, like during all this time during COVID, when it was so controversial, hardly any people called and gave me a hard time.
Right.
No one
they hung
said
in there.
Yeah, just said, even people that were like, didn't think we should be open, still said, I don't think Jim should be, but I'm rooting for you. So, everyone has opinions, and it's not like there's one opinion right. But like, when I look at fitness and eating right? I don't think anybody, once they make that life's change, wishes they didn't eat right that year, wishes they didn't work out.
Right, right.
You know,
Yeah.
and if you could press like an easy button and do it, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's harder if you give yourself a choice to go to the gym. Like say if I said, Bob, you got to be in the gym no matter what these days. If you don't give yourself a choice, you're going to be at the gym.
Well, I've had people say to me, whoa, why do you go see Foley? You know what to eat. Well, yeah, I pretty much do know what to eat, and I know when to eat it. But having that moment of accountability during the week where, and sometimes that's what tips the scales, no pun intended, for me is like, I'm not going to put that in my mouth. I got to go see Foley on Wednesday.
Yeah.
and he's going to be looking at me going, you know.
Well, and the reason why it's easy to keep people accountable, because I know you won't regret it.
Right.
You know, and if you're doing a business, like everyone says, like, well, what's the best way to do business? And you hear different things, and I talk to different people that are successful. But I think the one thing is you've got to care.
Yep.
If you don't care, that's going to come right away, right?
Shine through, yeah.
And then you've got to find a way to keep people accountable, but not, you got to be understanding too. You know, you got to understand people have different struggles. And I think kind of like it's one of those things like where if you can get them over that hump and believing it, they can be successful. Like I think if I could truly get everybody to say like, if you do just what I say, you will be here, they would do it. But in the back of their mind, they got this self-doubt. And you know, like even like in sports, like you'll see people like, and I wasn't that great of an athlete, but say like, if you get to bat, you start thinking like, oh, I'm down 0-2. This is where I always strike out. You strike out.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed my last warm-up shot playing basketball. I'm not going to have a good game. It's a negative, ridiculous
You get more of what you
mindset.
focus on. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things like, if you had a great workout, you didn't win. If you had a bad workout, you didn't win. You just got to be consistent.
It's funny, that word mindset has come up in 2 or 3 different podcasts, and I don't know if that's, maybe it's just a trend because of the kind of person that we're having on. You know what I mean? That, you know, whether it was Stan or Scott Bowman or your brother.
Great guys.
Everybody.
Think well of those guys.
All of you guys, the common denominator is a strong mindset.
Well, you know, because like so many times, like it's human nature to make excuses.
Right.
You know, so, you know, like so many times people say it was a mistake, and I'm like, well, you made a choice to eat the pizza. It wasn't a mistake. Right. It's a mistake because your weight went up.
Right.
You know, but it's like kind of like you made the choice
point.
to eat the pizza. You knew I wasn't going to be like, hey, that's okay, or you know, and everyone, like we live in this mindset where it's kind of weird where they go everything in moderation. But if you did everything in moderation, you wouldn't be coming to see me.
Good point. Yeah.
You know, you probably did it, and you know, but like when you look at like say you doing an Ironman, they'll go like, well, what motivates someone to do an Ironman? And they'll say, well, that's not healthy. You're not doing an Ironman to be healthy. You're doing an Ironman because it's a personal challenge.
The accomplishment.
And a true accomplishment.
Yeah.
And it's not for everyone. Just like lifting, bodybuilding contest is not for everyone.
Isn't it funny?
Everyone should be healthy.
The perception of that, public perception of it too. Like if you went to the gym every day or twice a day and worked out and ate right, somebody's going to say to you, geez, you don't want to lose too much more weight there, do you? But if you were sitting at the end of the bar at Portland Pie 2 nights a week, having 3 beers and a pizza, nobody'd say a word.
Well, you know, and the other thing that kind of bothers me with it is like, say when you're young, if you play sports, you have 2-hour practices.
Yep.
Pretty much every day, right?
Right.
6 days a week at least. So as we get older, how do we think we're going to be able to do a 20-minute walk 3 times a week and be healthy?
Right.
And as a society, we keep getting more and more unhealthy.
Right.
So it's time we have to make changes. As you get older, you lose muscle.
Yeah.
Like as everyone says, you get older, do you find it harder? It's not as hard as I thought if you don't give yourself a choice. I pretty much do the same workout I've been doing forever.
Yeah.
I just have to warm up more.
Right.
But it's not that much harder.
It takes a little longer to get the engine going.
Yeah, just to loosen up a little bit. But it's not truly like it's not like all of a sudden you get to certain ages and all of a sudden your strength disappears if you work out all the time.
Yeah.
If you eat good all the time, so okay, I probably eat better now than I did in my 30s, but it's not that much different.
Speaking of eating, when's the last time you had a cookie?
Yeah, I just won't do it. You know, it's kind of one of those things. Like when I got into fitness, but like think of it like this. In fairness to me, like even you know, I won't eat it for anybody. Not for my kids' birthdays. Not for
nothing.
But like what happens is if I'm telling, like say sometimes, right? Like I'm all Irish, right? And I do drink occasionally, but a lot of people I know that are all Irish can't drink, right? That's not uncommon for the Irish, right?
Right.
So what happens is when I'm working with someone that's really big, I just feel like they can never have it
Right.
in the mindset.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have it anyway.
Right.
But like I tell, like if you're gonna have a piece of cake, do it in public.
Well, what you used to say to me, what you do in private shows in public.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think if you are gonna eat something in public, then you're probably not gonna order 5 desserts at a restaurant, right? You know, that's why drive-thrus are so popular.
Right. I think you said to me one time, nobody, would you say, if everybody had to eat with their shirt off, people would eat a lot less.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah. Well, it's true, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yep.
although sometimes, you know, everybody has different goals. And, you know, like some people want to get in amazing shape. Some people just want to be healthy. And whatever goal you're looking to achieve, as long as it puts you're in the mind in a better environment. Because so many times people will be, like when they put on weight, not only are they unhealthy physically, they're creating a stress mentally.
Yes.
They don't want to go to the beach. They don't want to run into people. But they always try to take shortcuts. Like when you look at like society, we keep getting bigger, but the diet industry is booming.
Right.
And everyone's looking for a shortcut.
Right.
And then they get into the mindset, like when I'm working with someone, they have to be coachable to a degree. Because they can't say, well, this worked for me. It didn't work for you if you didn't keep it off.
Right.
You know, like right now, like I've been doing nutrition so long that I have 789 people that have lost 100 pounds and kept it off for 7 years.
Wow.
That's when you make changes.
Yeah.
You know, like if you know, and again, they had to make changes. You know, someone will come to me like they'll be diabetic and they'll be like, this is the worst. And in my opinion, it's the best. Because now you really better make changes or there's going to be a lot of consequences.
Let's get your attention.
But sometimes it's not enough for them to make changes.
Yeah.
Someone will have, the reason why people have multiple OUIs, the first OUI wasn't enough.
Right.
You know,
Right.
everybody has a different, you know,
Yeah.
point that's their breaking point,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, let's everybody, you know, anybody can come to the gym and check it out. It's open to anybody, but I know there's a bunch of people watching this that want to peel this onion back a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, you know, what makes you tick? How does Mike Foley stay being Mike Foley? Like every time I come in here, you're the same guy. You're always even-keeled temperament, mild-mannered, always supportive and happy to see me. And I gotta believe there's a tough day in there somewhere along the way, or a day where you didn't want to go to the gym. Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
But, well, truthfully, like, I mean, like everybody has different, you know, struggles, and we all
Yeah,
do, and we
yeah.
have to do that. But like what happens is I love working out.
Yeah.
And I just look at it as mandatory. In the past, when I wasn't successful at different things, I just didn't work hard enough.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be outworked. You know, so as you get older, when I was young doing it, they said, wait till you get older. And as you get older, it's kind of like, okay, now I can't let off the gear. Now I have to do it, you know? And I just never regret working out. I just know every day I'm going to work out. And then if you eat good, you should eat good every day.
Right.
You know, like vegetarians don't eat meat one day, they eat vegetarian. So
Right.
I just try to eat healthy and be really consistent and make the diet go, you know, I have a very convenient diet.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect diet by any means. It's
Well,
just convenient.
you found what works for you, but
Yeah.
getting back to like your typical day. I mean, you told me before we came on that I said, "What do you see about 20 people a day?" You said, "No, you're seeing about 50 people a day, Monday through Thursday,
Yep.
one every 15 minutes for 12 hours. I mean, that's a day.
Yeah.
How do you fit lunch in and breakfast?
I've got the smoothie bar.
Yep.
I have the most convenient diet, and like I love being fit more than I love food. You know, when it comes right down to it, then I love when I can get to the Vine or someone will run to the Vine, I can get like chicken and salad. And
Sure.
to me, that's just really
One of my
you know,
friends, Kurt Parham, says, "Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels."
That's right. Yeah. And I think kind of like, not even skinny, I always say you got to have abs, you know,
Yeah.
for guys, you know, because like when you think of it, like you want to eat like an athlete to perform,
Right.
you know, so sometimes like people don't eat enough and they lose muscle.
Right.
It's kind of like, say like when, like I love the beach, right? And I love the sun, but when I was young, I got too much sun, but it didn't really pay. Now I get too much sun, I look worse, I look awful.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. You know, it's just like formula changes. You lose weight wrong when you're young, you still look good. You
Right.
lose weight wrong as you get older, it's not the same body.
Well, I used to, I'm not that much younger than you, and I used to be able to take 5 pounds off
Yeah.
like that. Now that's a street fight for a month.
It's like business in a bad economy. You know, that's what I think as you get older. But you still have to win the business.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of one of those things. But it's almost more rewarding because as you get older and you continue to be successful, your health is even more important. And that's the number one reward. But it's just mentally more important. You don't want to, you know, if it's important to that
One of the
person.
things that strikes me as pretty interesting about you is that you know, it wasn't that long ago you were at your other office on Marginal Way, sitting there seeing the same amount of clients.
Yep.
Life's pretty good,
Yep.
right? I mean, so were you sitting around saying, how can I screw this up? I'm going to open a gym and pour everything in it at age 50,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, oh my
Right.
word, Mike.
Yeah.
Like this is a big play.
Yeah.
You know, good for you.
But it's something like I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then my kids are 26, 19, gonna be 18 on
Yeah.
Sunday. So when they were little, it probably, you know, kind of kept me.
Sure.
And then as they got older, I kept wanting to do it. And then I said, you know, it just took me a while.
Did you
know,
feel
my-
like at this point in your life you actually kind of had less to lose?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because like my kids' life has been normal.
Yeah.
And I honestly felt like if I could open it and have it how I want it, I wouldn't lose.
Right.
I know it sounds kind of arrogant, but like I'm not arrogant in other things, but I just feel like that's
Not
the
afraid
one
to
thing.
bet on yourself.
Right,
you know?
exactly. And you get to certain points where like if you have to live differently, less expensive, then you do. You
Yeah.
know? And it's kind of one of those things where, but like I think the key is having the right people.
Yeah.
And that's when like not to go on, but like Joe Doherty kind of, when we were open, we had an open house. I've never met Joe in my life. And he came in and talked to my brother and he's like, do you need an investor? And we're like, and I'm like, no, we're good, you know? And Jim talked to him and Jim goes, geez, I really like this guy. And I met him and I liked him. And he said, well, do you need anything? I go, well, we're all set. And then me and my brother talked and I go, we both agreed he should be part of it. And well, let's have him be like the president of the gym. And then he ended up buying out my investors and just have been like I can't think of a better friend.
He literally was just driving by here during your open house and
Just
stopped.
never met him. I worked with his daughter years ago on the nutrition.
Yep.
But just been like just an unbelievable
Isn't that something?
guy.
Yeah.
It just, you know, so I think a lot of it is like kind of, I think my parents have passed away years ago, but I think sometimes they're watching over it, you know?
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. So switching gears a little bit. So you've got the gym, still seeing nutrition clients here, working out, having a blast. You just jumped into the supplement business. I mean, there's Foley Fitness, you know, whey protein and all that just around the corner out
Yep.
here. Tell me about that.
Well, anyone that knows me know I've always kind of had probably more whey protein than maybe anybody, right?
Right.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
like I'll grab whey in between clients. People go, do you like it? And I go, I like being lean. And I just wanted to offer like a high quality brand.
Yeah.
You know, because I think so many supplements are based on all marketing. And my brother Jim handles the marketing of the gym, but I always thought the best marketing is referrals.
Right.
So I feel like if you put a real good quality product out there that it does what it says, and if it's over time, it will become a great product.
Yep.
So I was able to have the quality control over it. And the supplement industry has been really hard. We work with the labs and we designed what we wanted.
Yep.
But it's just been hard getting the products in and everything. But I really think it's going to grow. You know, we're
Yep.
trying to work on a clothing line that will grow. And it's just like, all those are kind of really like fun stuff. I just enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, if I'm going to be like hanging out on Saturday, I like looking at supplements and what could we do to do a better pre-workout? What can we
Right.
do to improve people's workouts? And what can we do to improve people's mental health? We got you
Their
know,
overall experience with the
not
gym and
over-push
with you.
it, yeah,
You know?
and not over-push it because supplements are very small. They're meant to complement someone's life, not be their life.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's all good stuff, and it seems like a natural to come in here and be able to, you know, get what I need,
Yeah.
you know, from you. Hey, Mike, is there something I need to
Yeah.
kind of boost me up in a certain area or whatever? You just looked at all my blood work before we came
Yep.
in here, so that was kind of cool. So,
Yep.
tell me about the staff. I mean, how many people does it take to keep this place going?
God, we actually have about 70.
No kidding.
Yeah, and Dana Benger, she's the manager.
Yep.
She does a great job. She handles all the staffing. And then Adam, we have basically runs the night crew. Adam Parsons, just a great guy.
Yep.
And then Joe kind of oversees the whole facility,
Yep.
like memberships, if you have a question.
Yep.
Joe kind of does all that. And then we just have so many people, the staff's just great, It's funny because my biggest fear, we have this guy, Kirk, always opening, never late, greets every member. Someone said to me the other day, they go, how did you train Kirk to be so polite and everything? I'm like, oh God, he trained me. It's like he's just a special man, And then our trainers, we have about 20 trainers, and they're like Noah and Nick are produced. Jen Lawrence is probably the best trainer I've ever been around, or as good as it. She's been, me and Jen been working together for probably close to 30 years.
No
I just love her, and aerobic classes are building, and again, Dana does a great job of managing all that.
Yep.
And, we have Skip Robinson, we have Marcia, who's a professional figure person trainer.
Spin classes.
Spin classes are going well, and it's just, all this was hard during COVID because, like that took a little bit of a backseat.
Yeah.
So we're trying to build that back up, and we have so much room to improve.
Yeah.
Like things are going well, our members are going well. When I built the gym, like I wanted high ceilings because my whole life has always been the gym, and everyone would be like, the gym smells.
Yeah.
And I'd never smell it because you wouldn't either.
Yeah.
You're in the gym, And so then I wanted more windows because in Maine there's so much depression.
Yeah.
And when you're in there all day, but but we want to get the people back in the gym that are at home struggling with their health.
Right.
And the way we got to do that is we got to get them comfortable.
Right.
And we got to do a really good job with that. And we got to get even better with it.
What do you say to somebody that's that's struggling with getting going, or either lacks the motivation, or just needs that little shove to get off the couch and go and get in here, not be intimidated? Because this is a fit gym community.
And that's probably why I was so fortunate when everything was COVID related. Not that it's not now, but it's when everything was really, the people that were going to the gym were really fit people.
Right.
So what happens is the majority of them, and they really supported me, and they've been great.
Yeah.
And I always think they create great energy.
Yeah.
But the key with it is not the people when they come in. It's not the fit people. Like I've never seen a fit person, do anything negative to someone starting the journey.
Right.
But what happens is you have to get them comfortable. So when I built the gym, I said, trust me, if you get people comfortable, and I wanted a gym where, like, say, it's wide open. So, like, say if you're not fit, but your daughter is, or your son, you can watch them work out.
Right.
Because, like, say, like, as you get older, you love watching your kids compete, right? Whether it's, like, I got a daughter that does dance and a daughter that does softball, and my oldest daughter ran track. I love watching them compete. And when they compete, you take pride in it.
Right.
So I wanted a gym where you could be not doing their same workout if you're not at that level, but you can do it because, like most parents will do anything for their kids, right?
Yep.
But then I've been doing the nutrition so long, as they get older, all of a sudden those kids that are taken care of, I'm working with, and now they're like 35, and they're like, Mike, my mom and dad are kind of a pain in the ass because I got to take them to this appointment, that appointment. And I'm thinking, I know 20 years ago, they did everything to get you to this point in your life.
Right.
But now their health, so it's just kind of.
Life truly is full circle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I think the greatest gift you can give your kids, other than being loving and parenting and all the other things, personally, is keeping your health.
Right. Yep. Yep. So you got a nutrition bar here. I'm staring at it right now.
Yep. We got a smoothie bar and some. We have a couple places coming over. We got Clean Eats coming over. We got Topstead where you can get your meals. Yep. So we're real excited about bringing them over.
So you're kind of constantly reinventing yourself here in the gym space.
You got to keep improving.
Right.
And I think there's so many things we got to do better.
Yeah.
Then there's some things you do. You go, okay, this is really added to the members. And just like we've got to find a way to add more parking.
Right.
We're working with the town on it. It's been a struggle. But those are things we just got to keep improving.
Yeah, I mean, you're positioned well here. You're right off Haggis, how do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Parkway in Scarborough. So you literally can drive off the turnpike, drive 1 minute, and you're in this gym parking lot.
When I was looking for different spots, even though I'm a Westbrook guy, I did most of my work in Portland. So I wanted to be like highway driving, and I feel like
Right.
if you're driving 10 minutes highway, it's not a bad drive.
It isn't. I mean, I live in Wyndham, and
Yeah.
I'll come over here and work out. I can be here in 22 minutes or something
Right,
like
and if
that.
it's highway driving, it's a little better than,
Yeah, it's
like
easy.
city driving.
Yeah. Yep. So, well, pretty cool stuff. I wanted to ask you a question about if you had, let's just say you've got the whole country's attention, all right?
Yep.
You're on TV. What would you want to say to the country about health and fitness if they were going to listen to you for 5 minutes?
Yeah, and this is something I'm passionate about,
Yeah.
and to me, this is the easiest thing. As a society, we keep getting less and less healthy.
Right.
And it's the one thing we have 100% control on.
Right.
No one puts anything in your mouth.
Yes.
No one forces you not to exercise.
Right. Making me uncomfortable
And we
over here.
live in this society where we blame things for being overweight.
Right. Yeah.
Stress does not have calories.
Oh, but my cortisol, Mike. My cortisol.
Nope. What happens is you got to take action.
Right.
And you got to take control of your personal health.
Stress does not have calories.
And so when you look at it like the reason why we're getting bigger is there's no structure.
Right.
So it's not just like overeating. It's no structure. It's like how someone can get in debt, not living outrageous.
Right.
So some people, what happens is, and they just need to make it mandatory. And what kind of bothers me always is, because I do work out every day, people say, well, that's the most important thing in your life. Well, it's not more important than my kids.
Right.
I work 12, 14 hours, so work's important.
Yeah.
You got to find time, whether
Right.
it's early or late.
Yep.
And you have to make it this unconditional part of your life.
Right.
Not the most important part. And I always think of it like when you exercise and you eat right, it will show you won't regret it. No one ever says to me like, God, that year when I ate good and exercised,
Sure.
what a disaster my life was. Everything in your life kind of falls in place better.
You're right. Yeah. It's one of the guys that I'm working with on the business coaching side. He says, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And I see a lot of that here. You
Yeah.
know? And I see a lot of that with you because I know, I mean, you're a top performer. Whether it's at your desk in the business world now or in the gym. And
But like I'm consistent. Like if we go in that gym, any time of day, there's people in way better shape than me and way
Sure.
better,
Yeah.
stronger, faster.
Yeah.
I'm just consistent.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like you look at certain people, when you're young, genetics plays a role.
right. Sure.
As you get older, you'll see people with unbelievable genetics not win the battle, because what happens is all of a sudden it's habits as you get older.
right. And getting back to mindset too.
Mindset.
I mean, I've done
Yep.
well at times in triathlon because I just had a stronger mindset than some guy that was more talented.
And that's something that you're blessed and you just haven't lost.
Right.
You're competitive. Like everyone says, like on the hills, and so some people aren't going to be like that competitive. So it might be the lady that's 220 that now she's 198, but she's way healthier.
Right.
And she might just walk and never really improve, but she's doing something and not getting worse.
Well, and you must see people who just stand up a little straighter too sometimes when they walk out of here.
Well, you look at like osteoporosis is on the rise.
Yeah.
Obesity is on the rise. Diabetes is on the rise. All these health issues are on the rise. People that are desperately sick, I'm not saying there's not fit people getting deathly sick, but most of the time when people have the health issues, it could be prevented if they exercise and ate right every day. Not
Yeah.
once a week, not once a month, but every day.
And it really isn't rocket science when you step back and think about it. If you follow a diet, whether you go see somebody like yourself,
Follow a diet that works for you.
that works for you.
Like say if you love carbohydrates and you're a vegan, don't do a keto diet.
Right.
Like if you genetically have high cholesterol, everyone's got a plan that will work for them. You got to find that plan.
Stay away from alcohol for the most part.
Like it should be celebratory.
Right.
If you have a great time drinking, you probably don't regret it. If you
Right.
come home from work and you have a couple drinks every night, it's no longer celebratory. It's a habit.
Right. No smoking. 8 hours of sleep. Now, that's a trap because I want to see if you'll step in it because I
Yeah.
know you don't get 8 hours of sleep every
No,
night.
but I think
How do you do it?
Like I think kind of like what happens is 8 hours sleep is a great rule, and then as you go around, like how I told you like I wasn't very talented in many areas. The one thing where like I've been able to work out virtually every day for almost 27 years. And so obviously that's maybe the one thing I have, like my IQ is pretty average. Can't fix anything, but maybe I can live on less sleep. And it's maybe a genetic thing. But if I was getting sick, I would see less people, still get my workout in.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things like during my daughter's senior year, I didn't miss games.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of one of those things. So you find time what you need. So sometimes like I might be able to eat more carbohydrates than somebody.
Right.
But if I started to have my body change negative, I'd cut out the carbs. So as I got older, I am working on more sleep. And I agree, 8 hours sleep is a good rule for most people.
What strikes me as interesting about you as well is that you don't seem to need an accountability person in your life.
Well, I kind of do. When you think of it like this, like people say that, but when you think of it, right? Say if I'm doing my job, and I've been very lucky, my schedule's packed, right? I don't think it would be that good if you came in and I keep telling you got to do better, and I'm gaining weight like a tick, and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And I know, I know I don't want to be selling for Verizon or Unum or anyone,
right?
Or I don't want to be doing labor. So I kind of do have a accountability plan. I always have, because I feel like no one hates a hypocrite,
right,
more than someone that's a hypocrite. So if you're telling someone, look, you got to eat right, you got to exercise, and you're not doing it, and we all done things that we should do and shouldn't do in life.
Yeah.
But like what happens, I've been blessed. I really, everyone that's come into my life has been a blessing in my opinion. And what happens is, I have a lot to be thankful for. But how I make a living is doing nutrition exercise. And I feel pretty fortunate.
Well, you're a neat guy, Mike, and I'm glad I know you. You wrote a book years ago. We didn't talk about that on the front end. Any plans to freshen that up? Has the nutrition business really changed all that much? I mean, is a book from 20 years ago still,
I always think in the end, right, is, foods change. Like, it has in a way. Like, give an example, like, say, in the early 90s, late 80s, very rarely did I ever just need to do a gluten-free diet.
Right.
Now.
And I never heard about a peanut allergy when I was a kid.
Peanut allergy growing up, right? So I think because the way food's being processed, things have changed.
Yeah.
And like what happens is, but the same core is if you give your body the right nutrients at the right time and really work hard to your ability, good things are going to happen. Think of it like this, is like business changes with technology and there's different technology in the gym. But in the end, if someone knows their business, is sincere, works hard, they're probably going to be successful.
Right.
They're not going to blame the company.
Yeah.
They're not going to blame the significant others. They're not going to blame their folks. They're going to find a way to be successful. And the same thing with nutrition is people have different genetics.
Yeah.
Like I'm blessed, like as far as like, I've done more calf raises than anybody I know, yet my calves are so small. So in some ways I'm not blessed, but I was blessed with having the ability, like my dad never missed a day of work. So, I always remember, like, I don't want to miss a day.
But you do, 1,000 reps of core every day?
I like to do that, though.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone
so
likes to golf.
What you're saying is, well, it's kind of easy because I enjoy it.
I enjoy it. I don't like stretching, so I have to do more time on stretching.
Yeah.
But, like, what happens is, and then I just always have been able to, things I weren't successful with, I didn't keep myself accountable. So, like, say, if I want to, like, I won't miss church. So if I miss church, I have to miss a workout. So I won't miss church. Otherwise, I'd miss all the time.
Right.
And we all, have things that we have to find ways to keep us accountable.
So, flashing forward 5-10 years, I always ask people this: where do you see yourself? You're 55 now.
Yeah, gonna be 55, Bob.
Jim's younger brother.
Yes.
So, I mean, you said earlier in this interview that you could never see yourself retiring.
Yeah. No, I definitely would never retire. And we're looking at right now possibly opening a couple other locations, possibly. But I just still feel like right now we got to get this better, and
run the lap you're on.
Yeah, I love having my twin brother Patrick's actually an investor in the gym.
Yep.
And then Jim's wife Tori's my partner actually, and Jim's hugely involved, and Joe, and
passionate.
So I feel like everybody associated with the gym now as investors are either close friends or family. So I feel really, really lucky.
A very tight knit,
even
trustworthy
the people,
group.
Even the people that invest in the beginning basically did it as a favor to me.
Yep.
So I'll be ever grateful to them. I was with the bank, and obviously we got different things like we could do, but I always think like if you grow too fast, I'm kind of, even though I put a big risk in this gym, I'm not a huge risk taker that way, because like what happens is, you know, with this, feeling's not really an option. We got to do better.
Right.
We got to get it better, and you're not going to be able to please every member. But if members start not coming, it's on us.
Well, let's open that up a little bit. I mean, I walk in here and I think this is kick-ass. What are the things as the owner that you're looking at that you need to improve?
I think getting people, like you said, when they walk through, making sure they get comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, because if you get people comfortable, like say if I go golf and I don't know what I'm doing, which I don't, there's more of a likelihood I won't go back.
Right.
If I start to know what I'm doing, I may go into it. Like I went shooting guns with Skip, and we went to Howell's Gun.
Yeah.
I've never shot a gun or held a gun, not even a BB gun.
Yeah.
But Howell, the owner, came over, and they kept coming over and telling me how good I was doing. I'm sure I wasn't doing good, you know. But like what happens is they made me feel like I was doing good.
You enjoyed it.
And then Skip had to put the video, then I realized I wasn't. So, but like it was like, yeah, I was pretty bad. But it's like kind of one of those things.
So maybe tuning up that initial customer experience.
And it's just getting better and better, involving. Keep putting equipment. We're looking at a couple pieces of equipment that's kind of neat. Like you could be walking on a treadmill and all of a sudden drops down to a farmer's carry.
Oh, wow.
You know, just stuff that's kind of unique.
Yeah. Now you do have some nice equipment here. And
I feel very fortunate.
Yep. So
we always have Alan and Steve from General Fitness Services always over here.
Yeah.
So we just want to stay on top of that. But there's a lot of competition.
Excuse me.
There's a lot of great gyms in the area. And every gym I ever worked at, I thought did a very good job. Yeah. So I've been, there's a lot of very good gyms. So there's a lot of choices.
What do you think you do well?
I think that's what we do pretty well is we have, I think, a well-equipped gym. Yeah. I think we care about our customers. I think that's probably what we do better.
Your vision is to improve the quality of life for each member by providing a facility that allows them to achieve their fitness and health goals.
Right, and I think kind of like what I wanted to do is keep people accountable. Yeah. So if someone's not in the gym, couldn't really do it as much during COVID times, I do reach out personally and just send them a text and go, Bob, we haven't seen you.
That's amazing, actually. I don't know that, I've never even heard of somebody doing that, as a gym owner.
Yeah, during COVID, that didn't work out too good. Jim and Joe made me stop, so yeah.
Jim's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that wasn't probably, but I just think it's important because what happens is like all of a sudden you have to have a reminder that, hey, you haven't been in 3 weeks.
Right.
And I think gyms, where they always base the thing on is the best member's a member that doesn't show up. But how can you build a community if they don't show up? Right. So if you're trying to build a community.
Well, and the other thing is, when you come in here and you work out, you're not just getting more fit, right? Like for me, I come in and it's time out of the office, time away from the job site, different people that I'm interacting with that I'm not seeing in my daily. So there's some intangibles there. It's hard to put your finger
and that's what
on,
Jim is. That's why I see people at the same time. And then the other thing, what we tried to do is be a one-stop thing. We have a Whitney Mean, a massage therapist. Yep. We have Jess Mead, chiropractor. Yep. Really good movement guy. Yeah. Probably the best.
And they're right here in the facility.
They're right here in the facility. Yep. And we have Dr. Perone, who does all the skin aesthetics, does the creams, the Botox, M-Scalp, just a real talented doctor.
What do you think he could do with this?
Bob, I don't know if you need anything, but you could probably do a little fine lining there. But just a great guy.
I don't know.
And they're all gym guys. Yeah. So it's just kind of one of those things.
Right. They work out here, but they work here.
And they've been great. Yeah. And they've been what we came in, so I feel so fortunate with them.
Yep. What else?
Really, I just think kind of like sometimes like when you're doing something, I think there was a lot of luck that put this together. Yeah. My brother coming involved. Because I was struggling with it. I just couldn't seem to put it together. And
isn't it funny how people come into your life at the right time sometimes? You know?
Yeah. And sometimes I think like with business, my brother always says this, and it's kind of true. It's like, I think the worst part is like once you get done, it's not like cancer. It's never as bad as you think. But when you're doing it, it's really bad because it's the unknown.
Right.
You know? So like it's the same thing with like getting someone fit. They got to believe they can get fit. Because if they think they're going to put all this work in and not get fit,
yeah,
it's scary. But when you're doing a business, there's a chance you could put all the work in and it not work out. You're not get it approved.
And that's the thing that in the short time that I've known your brother, that he seemed to bring to the table for you was that, oh, we gotta, whatever it was, we gotta go to zoning board. Yeah, that's just a hurdle. It's not, you or I might be like, oh no, we're not gonna be able to do it.
Like the one thing we did is, because even him, like we brought in Opus Consulting.
Yeah.
Casey has been unbelievable at Opus. He's just been Casey Scarborough.
Yeah.
Alex Lopes from Bangor Savings. Paul Collins from the SBA.
Yeah.
So many people.
A lot of people got behind this.
Yeah. So many people.
But a lot of people didn't. You mentioned you get turned down by a lot of banks.
Yeah, but that's their right. Like that's kind of like asking someone out. They have the right to say no.
Right.
So it's like kind of like that didn't really bother me.
Yeah.
Dave LaTulip and Jason, our civil engineer, they helped put everything together too. Dave helped get it through the town. Yep.
Yeah. And you just kept being Mike Foley.
Well, you want to stick with what you know.
Right.
So I would always talk to Jim Part, like when Jason Bafias was doing the town on civil engineering, wetlands. I mean, I still don't, still working to, you want to become knowledgeable, but if you don't know it, the chances of picking it up and being able to get it through a town's not very good.
No more than they would become a nutrition guy.
Yeah,
right?
True. Yeah.
So,
yep.
Well, this has been cool. I've been looking forward to it. I know other people have too, and I've enjoyed coming over to the gym and
I appreciate you just coming over here and I think the one thing with all the gym community, that when we're going through all the restrictions, everything, we all kind of work together.
Right.
And even though we all have our own interests, we kind of all helped each other out.
Yeah.
Nate Libby was great, and it's just like, it's kind of a cool community, and you being part of the, fitness community has always been great too.
Sure, it's been a lot of fun, and you've always been a part of. You just talked about the team you assembled. When I went to go tackle an Ironman, Foley was on the team. Because I
appreciate that.
I knew I needed you to make sure that I only had so many days to get where I was going, 20 weeks or whatever we would lead up to an Ironman, and I didn't want to waste one of those days eating wrong or not fueling right. And the fueling game for an Ironman is a lot different than coming in here and doing a 1 hour
totally
workout.
Different.
So you and I had a lot of fun with that.
It's funny because I've worked with so many triathletes and marathon runners. People think I am, and boy, that's definitely false advertising.
You're more like 5 miles on the beach guy, right?
I'm more like walking on the beach.
Strolling.
Show, no go. But it's
at least you can take your shirt off and look good, right?
That's an opinion. I don't know.
I always enjoy coming in and screwing around with you, Mike. Thank you very much. And thank you for your help just on a personal level. You're getting me going down the road in the best shape I can be. We're working on it. So, I'm a work in progress all the time. So thanks for being you, and thanks for being here.
I appreciate you.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Yep,
awesome.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. This has been the 11th episode of the Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things podcast. We're at Foley's Fitness in Scarborough, Maine. I just wanted to double back a little bit. If you're looking to get a hold of Mike, you can find him on the website at foleysfitnesscenter.com. Facebook is Foley's Fitness. Instagram is Foley's Fitness Center. And Mike is mfoley2000 on Instagram. So check him out and shoot us a subscribe on YouTube. I think we're kicked up over like 72 followers now. So we're doing well. Getting it out. You can find this podcast on Podbean as well as Apple Podcasts. So it's been a lot of fun. We're going to keep our foot on the gas, and we got some exciting guests coming up in the coming weeks. Thanks a lot.